What's up, Pete?
We would like to express our apologies, me and my lead designer, for the previous thumbnail.
Oh, come on.
It was done in poor taste. It was inconsistent. It was horrible. It was an atrocity against aesthetics and good taste. For that, we're very sorry. It was a big lapse in judgment, even though it took quite a lot of effort. And when I was presented with the end result, I wasn't sure if I was being trolled or the other party was serious.
Stop. I got you there. If you dislike the thumbnail, let us know.
If you dislike the thumbnail, like this video.
If you like the thumbnail, like this video. And then let us know that you like the thumbnail. Stop it about the thumbnail.
What's wrong with it?
So, fasting.
Wait, before we move on to fasting. Last episode was miracles, right?
Sort of.
And I want to share a miracle.
But that was last episode. You said it yourself.
Well, too bad. This is a miracle. This is a miracle appendix.
Miracle appendix.
Yeah.
So what happened? You arrived somewhere on time?
That too.
Okay.
But I canceled it out with me being very tardy next time. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have two very, very loyal subscribers, Michael and Angela. Hi guys. In one of the epistles of St. Paul, he says, your love for me is so great that if I asked for you to give me your eyes, you would do it. And that explains Michael and Angela so well.
I thought you were going to say that explains the eyes that somebody mailed to us. You know?
Well, now you spoiled the unboxing video. Don't mail us your eyes.
Please. It will be a great miracle or whatever.
Yeah. Don't mail us your eyes, guys. Lent is starting.
At least wait until it's over.
Okay, sorry, I did.
Come on.
So anyway.
Outfit.
Mike and Angela were here, and they were one of my first subscribers that I met in person. But ironically, they weren't my subscribers that happened to come to Serbia and they wanted to meet me. No, they wanted to come to Serbia. They googled Serbian channels. They saw my channel, and then they contacted me. Let's meet. And I'm okay. Fine.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, the two of them are supporting me on every platform that I have, like Bible Illustrated Patreon, Bible Illustrated Subscribestar, Church Mouse Chronicles Patreon. Like, thanks guys so much, and they're basically the sponsors of this good microphone that we finally got. I think.
No, they are literally the sponsors of this microphone.
So thanks a lot, guys. So anyway. They come here, we meet, and so on. And one day, during the Bible Illustrated project, I drew this image of Venice with dry pastels.
Is it Venice or vanity?
Venice, okay. Not vanity.
Okay, but you drew a picture of vanity probably as well.
Yeah, but not.
Okay.
But then again, Venice is the icon of vanity.
I was going there.
Yeah. So anyway, they liked the image a lot, and they were like, "Hey, can you mail us this image?" And I told them, "Guys, I'm so sorry. I already promised this painting to a friend of mine. Would you like?" So I'm chatting with Mike at this point only. Do you want me to draw something else? And he's like, well, Angela liked the Church of St. Mark in Belgrade a lot. Mm-hmm. So can you paint that? And I'm sure, fine. And he said, Christmas will come soon, So it will be great if you could mail it as soon as possible so I could give it to her for Christmas. And okay, fine. I really did my best to paint it as soon as possible. I can honestly say that I wasn't too happy with the result, but I was pretty satisfied. So I finish it. I get it to the post office, and bam, our post office goes on a strike.
Oh, I remember when that happened.
Oh yeah, and so Western Christmas comes and goes. They didn't receive it. All the Julian Christmas comes and goes. They didn't receive it. And sometimes they attend Serbian church. So I told Mike it would be great. You could give it for like Julian Christmas, but nothing came out of it. In the meantime, what I didn't know. Why did he order the painting of St. Mark's? When they were here, Angela went to that church and she wanted to pray, and she prayed in front of an icon of the Most Holy Theotokos. She didn't specify what she prayed about, but it was a very fervent prayer, and suddenly she got this thought: leave your earrings on the icon of the Most Holy Theotokos. And at least in Serbia, I don't know how common it is in other Orthodox churches, it is sort of, a practice, to leave something valuable behind, especially on the miraculous icons as a thanksgiving for a miracle, or when you really need something bad. So she's like, and this is like an ordinary icon, so this wasn't a miraculous icon. And she was, thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I, there's immediately a devil popping up. And these earrings were very important to her. They had a great emotional value. And no. If I had a thought, I'll do it. So she leaves. So she leaves the earrings. She leaves, and I think as soon as she got back to the United States, she went on a diet. And a month or two, or how much passes, and suddenly she realizes that ever since she started the diet, she did not have one single sugar craving ever since she started the diet, even though previously she could endure 2-3 weeks stops before succumbing, to the sugar cravings. And when she realized this, she realized that she was like, I don't know, 1 or 2 months on the diet. She has lost about 20 kilos in weight, which is considerable. That's around 40 pounds. Or maybe she lost 10 kilos, that is 20 pounds. I'm bad with numbers.
50 pounds is like 23 kilos.
Yeah, maybe even 50 pounds. I'm not really sure. But yeah, she killed that diet. And as soon as she realizes that, the next day the painting comes of St. Mark's. And we're like,
so
nice.
How long did it travel?
I think for 3 months.
What?
It traveled for 3 months.
Like, there was a moment of silence for the international transport.
Yeah, I
what?
mean, yeah, because there was a huge lag with all the packages from and to Serbia, and especially because, at least in Serbia, a lot of people are ordering a lot of stuff from AliExpress. So you can imagine the delay all of those packaging costs.
Yeah, while people in the States order from Amazon, and Amazon has local storage.
Yeah.
Local warehouses, we order from China.
From their local.
Let's just hope they don't cough in the packages. You know the Simpsons episode?
Which one?
Well, the one where like somebody in China coughs in a package, and then it arrives, and then everybody just and there's an epidemic.
And I suppose this was like 15 years ago. This episode. Well,
Yeah, the Simpsons.
Simpsons have been accused of being prophetic, with their episodes. But then again, they had so many episodes. Eventually.
Yeah, too many episodes. Yeah, they cover pretty much any possibility. Yeah. Any combination.
I'm half expecting some American rich guy to build some device to block out the sun or something. So yeah.
What's the episode supposed to be about?
Fasting.
You mean the Great Lent?
Yeah, the diet.
Sorry?
The Great Diet.
The Great Diet.
Yeah.
There, I remember somebody asking me, because sometimes I have to explain why I'm not eating meat, for example. Like this week, 3 times. I had to explain 3 times why I'm not eating meat. This week, the week in which we are recording this is the cheese fair.
Very good, then.
Week. It's a fair of cheese.
This is actually our patron week for Church Mouse Chronicles, the cheese fair.
The cheese fair, yeah.
We're mice, get it? I can touch the silence.
Yeah, so cheese fair week. Anyways, I had to explain 3 times why I'm not eating meat. And everybody was like, but that Great Lent thing did not yet start. Why are you not stuffing yourself with meat?
Why don't you just say I'm a vegetarian?
Because I'm not. I eat pork.
You just said you don't eat meat.
But just this week. You mean I'm supposed to say I'm a vegetarian for this week?
Yes.
Like I'm a 1 week vegetarian.
Yeah, that will just create more questions.
Exactly. And it did when I tried to explain to somebody what my diet is while I'm, fasting. Actually, this Great Lent is going to be extremely challenging for me.
We should create, we should ditch the podcast format and just create 48-day vlog of M during the Great Lent. See a young lad waste away.
If ever I needed prayers. Yeah.
You'll need bread, not prayers.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, it's a bit challenging to eat keto during the Great Lent.
Okay,
it is,
I only imagine you eating basically lettuce and calamari and nothing else.
Calamari. Look.
You hate calamari.
I don't hate it, but, calamari. Oh. Squid. Not shrimp.
Well, shrimp too. I think
shrimp
you can eat.
Shrimp is good.
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of shrimp. I can eat it.
Squid?
I like squid.
How do you say it in Serbian?
Lignje.
Lignje. A ovo su dagnje.
Ne.
Serbian reveal.
A child. No. You know that clip? There's nothing worse.
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
B. This is supposed to... Serious episode. Now. Gentle transition. Hard transition. No, gentle and hard.
Did you say gender transition and then hard transition?
I said gentle transition.
Okay. So, transition.
And I don't think it's...
We're transitioning.
It's gender transition. I think it's gender change.
No, it's called transitioning, literally.
No. The process is called transitioning. But
okay.
Yeah. Important things to discuss, definitely.
So, what? Tell me and the audience, what will you eat?
I don't know.
Okay.
Avocado?
This is... Wait just a minute. You're on keto, right?
Yes.
We just had grapes. How can you eat grapes on keto?
Why not?
They're literally candies.
No, they're not.
Okay. I didn't want to use the phone in one episode. In one episode, I had to use it, and it annoyed me a lot.
You'll Google glycemic load.
No, I'll Google keto grapes. I'm not going to use the words that start with J and Y.
Yeah, let me know what you find out.
Despite the many health benefits of fruit, there is an issue with some fruits on the keto diet. Grapes and bananas, for instance, contain high quantities of carbs. 1 cup of grapes. Where's the bowl?
You ate it.
No, I didn't. Okay, I just wanted to present the cup of grapes, which is unfortunately gone. Has approximately 26 grams, and a medium banana. What's a medium banana?
like an average. They might want to say average banana.
but still, what's the standard banana? The median banana has 24 grams of carbohydrates. As a rule, this fruit should be avoided.
So, to my defense.
You killed keto.
To my defense.
You killto.
To my defense, I had wine yesterday, so I'm definitely out of ketosis.
Yeah.
So as you've seen, I'm just eating a little. That's all.
Is that why your mood has improved?
Because what?
Because you're now eating carbs.
No.
Through fruit.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Believe it or not.
Tomorrow, jam.
No. Sugars are a big no.
I know.
And just so you know, in keto, you can actually eat berries, anything like strawberry,
banana berry, grape berry, jam berry.
I'm not a fanatic.
Okay.
I just eat healthy.
Let me tell you a thing or two about healthy eating.
No, the thing is, you're just envious.
Of course.
It's a symbol.
I'm a keto expert.
You're a keto nothing.
A keto expert.
This episode is going nowhere.
Like all of our episodes.
Yeah.
So anyway, what will you eat?
I don't
to
know.
Return to our... Okay. So, fruit, which you shouldn't have.
No, I'll eat berries. That's for sure. I'll eat avocado. I will eat a lot of salad. I will eat nuts.
You know, I have to reflect on something because I'm a part of these Orthodox groups online, and now that Lent is beginning, everybody starts exchanging recipes. Imagine Christ being 40 days in the desert and him constantly cooking. Constantly.
It's not the same level. Let's be realistic.
True.
You don't fast the way a monk on Mount Athos fasts.
True. But there is this image. I'll kill you. There's this image of this huge guys. I am not a huge fan of fish. Neither is them.
Especially hake.
But there is this image. I hope that we post it. Of these Mount Athos, I think it's Mount Athos cooks, with these huge pans, where there's tons of fish arranged in this spiral pattern, covered in olive oil, and I'm like, oh, this looks so good. I want to try this. By the way, this being on Mount Athos and having both oil and fish, this is probably outside of fasting season.
Yeah, I wouldn't like the...
Oh, I would. I mean, fish is great when it's prepared great. Generally, it's not prepared great.
Well, smoked salmon.
That's cheating, basically.
I'm just saying.
It's like having Lent and bacon.
Everything's possible.
True.
You know, there's the thing in the States. It's like artificial meat.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember how they call it.
But
it's like meat, but it's not meat. It's artificially made, but it tastes pretty much exactly the same.
Now, I don't mind us winging it a little bit, drinking soy milk. That would be a bit too much.
Yeah, but we kind of started with Great Lent. It's all about the food. It's all about what you're gonna eat.
Well, it is. Okay, fine. Tell us what we're going to pray.
How do you mean, what am I going to pray?
Well, how much will you pray? When? What prayers will you say?
Well, I am going to pray more than I usually pray. That is the point.
Oh, nice. Pray one Our Father more per day and you're set. Yeah, that's more.
Oh my God, that's so Catholic. 10 of this and 5 of that.
So how will
It's not about the quantity.
It's about the timer.
No, it's about the quality.
It's not about quantity. Also, I will pray more. So you won't eat fish.
Do you mind me?
So you won't eat fish. So you won't eat fish.
No, I hate fish. I will eat fish, but
I'll hate it.
I'll I'll make myself eat fish. And you know what? It's I think fish, if you're following the script, right? Not the scripture, script.
Okay.
You're gonna fast on fish, basically every other Sunday or something like that. This Great Lent before Easter is like pretty harsh.
I'm not following that.
Well, that's you.
No chance in hell that I'm following that. And I'm not even like eating fish on daily basis, but no, just no.
Can we get a sinner sign? Sinner.
This is just him, announcing how he will edit the video.
I've decided not to edit our videos at all.
Why? Except it's very time consuming.
No, I actually I enjoy doing it. It's just that my creativity is low when I'm fasting.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, it's
so
not.
You're giving up editing.
There's actually people like YouTubers whom I would advise not making videos during the Great Lent.
We're thinking about you, Jay.
Jay? Who's Jay?
Jay Dyer.
Who's he?
The proclaimer of lame spiritual food.
Good example.
Yeah.
Good example.
He took my video, which is based on Saint Athanasius on the Incarnation, and called it lame spiritual food. I suppose that pentacles and pentagrams and the inverted triangles and 666s in videos and all of the media that you consume is healthy spiritual food, Jay.
I would also advise some other YouTubers not to think about other YouTubers, other YouTubers.
Stop thinking about me, Jay. Okay, fine. I'll try.
Jay, I never said this to anyone, but your comment of his video being lame is the lamest comment I've ever seen in my life. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
Thank you for your
thank you for your unsolicited advice.
No, literally. I love it when people are like, "This is crap." Period.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ironically,
thank you.
I've been receiving requests upon requests on my other channel. We'll make a video about Jay Dyer, and like,
no, that's drama. Don't do that.
I don't want. I really don't want.
No, that's drama.
I really don't want.
Stay out of drama.
I am, and that's why I'm not going to make that video.
Or wait for the Great Lent to pass and engage drama.
No, I don't want to. Drama is draining.
Look.
There are people who thrive in drama.
Absolutely. There are people who use drama as the only way of getting other people to listen to them. And
for clout.
Yeah, something like that. Anti-senpai.
Yeah, I've been joking regarding that. Anti-senpai noticed me.
So, enough about other YouTubers. I can't even remember the name. So, but I did remember the content was
dark.
I don't have the appropriate word, so I will curb my lack of eloquence by just switching topics.
Okay.
Great Lent, such a great topic. I usually try to find a good piece of content about the Great Lent before it begins, just so that I might get an idea, right? And every time I think about what's the purpose of Lent, I also see that other people have different points of view when it comes to Lent.
Of course.
First of all, a lot of people, I think, perceive Great Lent as something they have to do, like an obligation.
Yeah.
Which I think is completely wrong. But yet, to them, from their perspective, it's an obligation. Like, do I really have to do this? Other people are welcome it a bit more as an opportunity to
do the spring cleaning.
Yes,
of themselves.
That is such a good way to put it, because in reality, here's the thing. You know how sometimes, I'm not sure if you guys do this, but sometimes I will pay for something, like I will give money for something that I don't have to, that I can get for free. But I'm doing this so that it's a commitment.
I like me going to the gym.
Something like that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yes.
definitely that.
You pay...
I can definitely work out at home. Okay, I don't have the devices, the machines, but I can still have an amazing body if I work out at home. But no, because when I work out at home, I don't work out at home. So I pay.
Precisely.
Yeah.
I even paid for an elliptic trainer at home.
To see how dandily that went, look at our episode New Year's Resolutions. Is that episode?
Went great, I think.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's an instrument. Fasting in general, but then Great Lent. I think it's such a great instrument. You know what I like about the Orthodox Church? Maybe a couple of years, over 10 years ago, I wasn't an Orthodox Christian, right? So when I became an Orthodox Christian, like when I started calling myself an Orthodox Christian, one thing that I never, a lot of people perceive it like that, but I never have perceived it like this. It's not rules.
Yeah.
It has never been rules.
Also, you mustn't eat fish until it's Sunday.
No. You let me finish. I'll get to that.
You let me fishish.
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 No, stop it.
It's a bad pun.
Stop it.
It's
Stop with the bad pun.
It's a lame pun.
Now I have to edit.
Do go on.
From day one, since I started really, really learning about Orthodoxy, because I'm a Serbian. I've been educated in the ways of Orthodox Christianity since I was a kid, but not really. And when I started really, really getting myself acquainted with everything our religion is, not just our faith, I perceive today everything that the Church proclaims as a bunch of guidelines. Great guidelines that point you to that golden middle road that you're supposed to take.
Yeah.
So there is no oppression. There are no rules. There's just good advice.
Yeah.
That's how I've perceived it myself. Yes, in the very beginning, I was a bit of a zealot.
But everybody is. And perhaps
I was too harsh.
Yeah, but maybe you have to be, because then you test your limits.
Yeah.
And while you're more strict about yourself, you actually build the habit. You prove to yourself that you can do it.
Which is exactly what the Great Lent gives you, as an instrument.
Yeah.
You force yourself to do something by an act of will, which is at the end of the day an act of love, because you're doing this for the love of something.
Yeah.
Right? You're not doing it because you want to punish yourself, because there's no point in punishing yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who will punish you.
Anyways.
So no need to actually do that. Think about people who whip themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit, But what I'm trying to say is, at a brief period within a year, you will make yourself do extraordinary things. I think that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Because you are you're changing yourself by an act of will, which is actually an act of love. You're effectively changing yourself.
Yeah.
And as you are proving to yourself, and if need be to anybody else involved, that you can do something. And let's be realistic, when you're fasting, your body loves that.
Yeah.
Your budget sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on what you're doing, but usually your budget loves it.
But
so it's even practical.
Yeah, I mean, from my mood improves considerably during fasting, and I
does. Maybe you're doing it right.
It does. I mean, because
what about temptations? I have a feeling. First of all, I apologize for interrupting you, but I have this and this is not just me, man. We joke about it in my inner Christian circles. We joke about it like the Great Lent is starting. So what hit you today?
Yeah.
What was thrown at you today? What did you injure? That's literally how we start every Lent.
Yeah, and those things always come. You can't avoid them, and they're integral part of the Lent.
Yeah, because as you're trying harder, to climb this mountain, the other guy is like throwing rocks.
Like you're like in the desert with Christ, and then halfway through you realize that nobody's really talking about the huge devil in the desert.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but you say your mood improves. Mine, I guess it does, but then the temptations come, and then me being a weak person that I am, I obviously succumb to it.
Do you know how does it improve? You know that feeling like, for example, you have a very you have a day where you have a lot of things to do.
Every day.
Okay.
Except Sunday.
Okay. So.
Sometimes.
You get up early. You maybe will have a good night's sleep. But you have to do this, do that, go to gym, see those people, and you manage it all, and then when you go to bed, you're like, oh man, that smile,
sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, this big sense of accomplishment. It is something similar to that. It's not exactly that, because you sort of can't accomplish Lent. There isn't a specific goal to Lent except, simply being there present with Christ and sort of going with him through the desert in a way. So, but this sense of accomplishment, as it were, is sort of, I have been beating that evil bee within me the whole day.
There's an evil bee within you?
Multiple evil bees. Bzzz, evil bees.
Oh mein Gott.
But you have many multiple evil bees, evil M's, maybe even some additional entities you don't want to talk about, and you're like, no, you won't eat that. You kept eating it for a whole year, and it's never enough, and you're basically a stomach on two legs. Stop it.
Cupcakes?
I never really understood why people like cupcakes. It's just colorful sugar. I mean, they're
muffins?
Exactly the same with just less cream.
Muffins?
They're okay, but
triple chocolate blueberry muffins.
I literally went blind from all the sugar that I just heard.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, guys, despite my appearance, I'm not much of a sweet tooth. I'm serious.
Are you a meat tooth?
No, I'm a cheese, dairy, bread, late eating tooth.
You're such a tooth.
I hate
you said one thing. What, tooth?
Yeah. Tooth.
And world.
I hate that too. World.
Look.
Oh,
you said one thing I want to address.
Okay.
Like?
Envelope?
Want
to address it?
Didn't we agree to stop with these very bad puns?
No.
Shame on you. Are you trying
It's never improper time for a bad pun.
He's getting it out of his system before the Great Lent.
Yeah.
Because, I guess you have a list of things you will not do.
Like, imagine at the end of Lent, I have like 50 kilos and I'm wearing this ragged blanket over my naked body, and I'm literally hovering and not even speaking during the podcast because I'm so holy.
Are you in a lunacy?
Yes. Loony bin.
Loony bin, okay, lunacy.
So what did you want to address?
At one point you said, have a good night's sleep, and then you get up, blah, 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 and there's a lot of things you have to do this, you have to do that, and see these people in that. Do you feel like it's an obligation sometimes to see some people?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And you see them out of obligation?
Yes. You know, there's this great comic with whose name I can't really remember.
Boy.
No, no. But the theme of the comic is, adult life. And one of my favorite comics is things that surprisingly make us glad now that we're adult. And now that we're adults. And like writing with a good pen. And like a girl like, oh, this is life-changing. And then like sleeping in new clean sheets. And there's this like woman in bed. And there's this blissful smile. And eating the corner of a cake. Oh, hello, my sweet. But my favorite one. There's a smartphone on the table. And you can see a small cloud. Like... and the caption is having other people cancel on you, and then there's like a smartphone, and there's like a cloud. I'm so sorry, and you see a woman next to it. Yes, because especially when you're older, you realize that you no longer command your time.
I disagree. You can and should own your time.
Well, I don't.
You should not see people out of obligation. You should see people because you love them.
Yeah, but how to put this? I see them out of obligation because I love them first. Just because I'm...
Lame.
Gay. Just because I'm tired and overwhelmed does not mean that I don't love them. And that is why I force myself to see them. And in absolute majority of cases, the split second I see them and start talking with them, the sense of obligation goes away. Like, it's no longer, I have to check this box by the end of the day.
That's then a bit of a gray zone. I don't think that then you fully... see it as an obligation if that's the case. You're more like, I'm lazy to go right now.
Okay, that's true. But there are some people, and I don't know how to deal with this issue, that really like hanging out with me. But it's not mutual. And I would feel...
Sorry, Boris.
Nice. Nice. Boris is a friend of ours who really wanted to be part of this show, but he can't because we have no idea what we would talk about him here except truffle oil and fancy cocktails.
Truffle oil?
You know what truffles are?
Yes, I know, but I can't put it in context with Boris.
We went to this pizzeria and there is this pizza Casanova that he really wanted to have. And it contains truffle oil.
Okay.
So we.
I know why you didn't invite me then, because
you don't like truffle oil.
No, I don't eat pizza. Unless it's keto pizza.
They have steak.
Why didn't you invite me?
Because it's an obligation. And they already have you on Fridays.
I wouldn't even come.
That's why I didn't invite you.
Yeah, sure.
Vicious circle. So anyway, we started ordering, and he's like, I would like to have a Casanova pizza. And the waiters, we are out of truffle oil. They were supposed to ship it today, but we didn't get it. We want something else. And you could see that he does not want anything else, but that he really wanted that pizza. But the Lord said, "Niet."
Okay. Casanova pizza.
It's really a good pizza.
No, I trust you completely. But then again, it's pizza.
So anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, there are some people that would really like to hang out with me, and I'm a combination of not having enough time and a combination of I would like to do something else than see other people. But honestly. If it bring sorry,
the comment on our video,
which
when
I don't know if we should address that one. I mean, we could, but
it goes something like this.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Well, you find it. So anyway, if it brings so much joy for somebody to see me, fine, I'll go see you. I'm a bad person. I don't know. How do people deal with these sort of things?
No, I mean, a lot of people might actually envy you because not everybody is like in a position to be. In a position, where people invite them to, socialize in general.
Yeah, that's
a lot of people are just alone and on Facebook. So we
I'm on Facebook.
We received this comment on one of our videos. I can't see which one it is, but I'll find it.
It's the craziest comment we have ever received. And one, probably even on all of my channels, probably one of the craziest.
I shall not read the username in order for me to remain, child friendly. For this to remain a child friendly video.
What? Oh, okay, yes.
The comment says so.
Let your imagination run wild and then confess it.
So I'm new to this. But is it like a running joke that B is in love with M and wishes they could be together? Is it permitted to be gay in Orthodox? I'm Catholic, so I'm not too sure. We love the videos.
Yes.
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
What? So which video? Which video did you say?
No. Don't share the video because then people will find the comment easily, and we don't want weird comments to stack.
Why not? Hey, look, everything's for people. Even falling in love with your
podcast
host. So one thing regarding this comment.
No. Let me. M can vouch the best how much I'm not in love with him by how much I don't contact with him outside of how much I must contact with him.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel so loved.
Do you remember the last time we saw each other during the podcast when I had to come?
No.
Well, we basically see each other only on podcasts.
So what?
I don't mind. That's fine.
I don't mind as well. I don't need to see you more than that. So, one thing I wanted to say, outside of the obvious misconception, which I wouldn't even go any further in discussing, when somebody asks a question like, is this permitted in Orthodoxy? It has everything to do with how I described my perception of Orthodox Christianity. Nothing is not permitted, right? Except communion. Because who gives communion? Priests give communion, and they were ordained by bishops who are more or less representatives of Jesus Christ. Okay. A very layman explanation.
Okay.
So they have the right to decide to or not to give communion to somebody, as they were entrusted with being the keepers and of the gifts and the facilitators of the act of communion. Did I?
Did you just use the word facilitator?
Yes.
Okay. Extra points for them.
So
he has
IT guy. Look, okay. I'm an IT guy. So outside of that, I'm wondering how do you think somebody can prohibit somebody else to be gay, for example? Like,
I don't.
I, as the priest / bishop / whatever of this or that church or monastery or whatever, prohibit you to be gay.
Worldwide gay rates drop to 0.
But really, it would be the same as saying I prohibit you of eating candy. The only punishment in Christian Orthodoxy is not getting communion.
Also going to hell.
Well, that's not a punishment I don't think that's a punishment. Actually.
No, that's a consequence.
It's a consequence, exactly. The fact that the people perceive it as a punishment is a very modern, I dare say, a bit Protestant way of seeing things. I mean, whose fault that is, I don't know, but
well, it's simple. Like when God,
portrayal of hell being like people are being tortured and fried in oil.
Mm-hmm. That will sound real good in a week or two. But anyway, like in the book of Genesis, when God tells Adam and Eve not to taste of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, he threatens them in a way by saying, "On the day you taste of the fruit, you will die. Not I will kill you."
Yeah, exactly. There will be consequences, but it's not that there will be consequences like
by me.
But exactly, administrative. But the thing is, so if somebody's gay. In Orthodox Church, it's not like people are not permitted being gay. What is not possible in Orthodox Church is, for example, for gays to be married or something.
Yeah.
But
which excludes also like the practice of sex, basically between.
Yeah, but gay sex and straight sex outside of marriage is still the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it has the same
sinful implications.
Exactly, it's a sin. So.
Well, okay, but straight sex can evolve into something better, like marriage.
Or gay sex, because then they get it. Like this doesn't work.
What?
I will cut this part out. No, I don't care. Like,
no, you won't,
like
because...
the thing is, rest assured that there are people who are gay in the Orthodox Church. They receive communion. They repent for their sins. So it's you can't like. Let me put it like this. I can't look at things from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not gay, I can't look at it from that perspective. But I can understand that somebody has that perspective and yet is exactly the same as I am. Commits sin, repents for it, does the Great Lent Challenge.
No. When you say the Great Lent Challenge...
No, when I say does the Great Lent...
But when you say Great Lent Challenge, I feel much more motivated to actually do it. It's just a mind hack, nothing else.
That could be our thing.
Yeah.
So, we challenge you. What's the name of that guy? That guy with the comment. The guy with the comment.
Which guy?
His videos suck.
I don't want to bash other YouTubers that much.
Okay.
But Jay?
We challenge all of you with bad videos out there. Try the Great Lent Challenge of not doing videos that suck. Why are you covering your face? Are you ashamed of me right now?
No, but who will get the volley of bullets? Not you.
Why? From whom?
The audiences.
The audience?
The rabid fans.
Oh, like the fans of the guy who I just sort of kind of made fun of?
Yeah.
I mean, direct it to me. Why would they direct it to you?
I'm here. And the comment was left on my video, not yours.
Okay.
You're literally using me as a meat shield right now.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
I will expose my contact information. I'll let them do it. I'll take the heat.
Yeah. How should I explain the internet mob mentality to you?
Internet mob mentality.
Even though
Internet mob challenge. Yes, let's do it.
Okay, just because I don't like, or if I hate somebody's content, does not mean that I'm out on a crusade against some person or
whoever said something like that.
You just did.
No, I didn't.
You literally picked up my flashy corpse and protected yourself. Well, I will get the comments, the tweets, the whatevers.
Let's move on. I was talking about, what's the name? John
J.
J, and then about gay, and then about the Great Lent Challenge, the Internet Mob Challenge.
We have to name this episode Great Lent Challenge.
Yeah, that's right. That's such a good name.
Yeah.
So,
and for the background,
no,
ham and cheese.
No. You know when you fast on water, you fast on oil, you fast on water and wine, you fast on wine.
By the way, when people are listening to this, they will assume that we only drink liquids during the Great Lent.
Okay. So I'm not sure how this is referred to in English. I have to be very honest, but there's a script, right? And a calendar, let's say, and every single day more or less has its own rule.
Yeah.
In terms of how you are supposed to fast during the Great Lent.
Yeah, rules that don't exist.
Well, no. Okay, let me address that first.
Because
first you're totally messing with my. Anyways, yes, these are rules, but these are like general rules that everybody has a blessing to follow. But you as an individual, absolutely have to be able of getting a blessing from your priest to fast. In a way that's possible for you, and every decent spiritual father will tell you the same. Like everybody should fast in accordance to their own strengths, and in accordance to other factors, like the place where you live at. Like let's to give an example. Let's say you could only eat fish, but you live in a place where fish doesn't exist. Simply, you don't have a river or a lake or sea/ocean, and then you have to import fish, and you just can't afford fish.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna do the Great Lent by eating fish. So again, these are guidelines.
Yeah.
I call them rules because I really.
No, I'm just evil. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine calling them rules.
Yeah, I think it's fine even in the context of saying there are no rules. I really think there are no rules. I mean, and I also kind of hate when people see rules everywhere. Like when you enter a church, you absolutely have to venerate the icon. You absolutely have to bow 3 times. No. You don't have to. You choose how to enter, the house of God. Period.
Even if it's with cavalry.
Well, let's do it in good taste.
Okay. Okay.
You take off the hat and then walk in.
And then you make 3 bows.
Yeah. And then right the icon.
Yeah.
And leave some cash. By the way, when
or
you say people leave valuables, I didn't know that, by the way. I've seen like people leave food items like oil.
Yeah, okay.
Which are going to be used.
Yeah, okay. Well, that is obviously, to be used in the church.
Did you know I stole from an icon once? We talked about that in the podcast when I was a kid.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I wanted to buy those things that pop when you hit it with a stone. Kapisla.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Capsule.
Black. So you take like a fake gun and put it there and you press it in.
Yeah.
But anyways, when we were kids, we used it like with a rock. But it popped.
Yeah,
it was like a bang sound.
Like a firecracker.
But not a firecracker. Something a lesser firecracker.
What happened to those? I haven't seen them in like 20 years.
Because you're not a kid. They're still there.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Nice.
So like I was on a field trip with my school, and everybody was like buying things like that, and I didn't have any money, and I remembered that people venerate the icon and leave some money on it. And I was like, I venerated the icon and I stole. A kid, I was like a...
Yeah, but then God was like, okay, fine, take your money. I'll return it. I'll ask for the interest. And like later on, he gave you faith. So
I believe it or not, I actually see it as a bit of a move.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to force such opinion, but it's just my impression that it kind of made sense. When when I actually became Orthodox Christian, when I became Christian, when I figured out that there was a God, a lot of things started making sense from my past. But anyways, it's a long story. Maybe some other time. But the point is, I kind of, I did everything. I bowed, I venerated the icon, but I also took a bit of the
help yourself. Treat yourself.
Yeah. That's a sin, by the way. I think
really?
It's basically stealing.
It's basically wow.
But I mean, I bought.
What pearls of wisdom did we hear today?
So back to the rule book. You're supposed to fast in a certain way during the week, and then sometimes they're like big names, big saints, red, as we call it, red letters in the calendar. Big events where or for example in Serbia we have Slava, like a family, internal family event, and then you have the blessing of eating with a bit of more
lavish foodstuffs,
with a bit more fish. But anyways, we call those levels like the lowest level is basically not eating anything. Yeah. Which people sometimes do. Like there's something that people refer to as trimirje. It has roots in the number 3. When they for the first 3 days of or the last 3 days of
first.
But usually first 3 days of the Great Lent they eat and drink nothing. Yeah. But it's not it's people usually ask for blessing for that. Yeah. Because
that's difficult. I mean, I would survive, but I know people who did it.
I used to do it like one day, like the first day of Great Lent and the last day of Great Lent. I used to do that.
Like on a Great Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. I tried to do it on Great Friday.
On a Great Friday, I think I usually just drink water.
I maybe eat an egg or two.
So anyways, the lowest level is not eating a thing. And then we have like the dry eating. I literally translated that. Which is like people fasting on bread.
Raw foods.
Raw foods?
Yeah,
bread, nuts and stuff like that.
Fruit, veggies. I mean,
if it was just bread.
Yeah, it's not. So nothing is fried, nothing is boiled. You just eat it raw.
Well, basically nothing is, more or less nothing is prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a salad out of all those ingredients.
Yeah, without oil.
And then we have, as we refer to, fasting on water, which is like foods without oil, but you can cook it.
Yeah, so not fried, but you can cook it.
Yeah, and B here sometimes eats seafood,
seafood is always allowed on water days because it does not count as fish.
I gotta say that is ridiculous to me personally.
Of course, it's ridiculous because it was allowed because back in the day, all of those mollusks or whatever you call them in English and amphibians were considered to be like
items,
like that thing in the net that you're like, not again. So it was basically considered the scraps of the sea. So that is why I like.
Yeah, but I personally don't eat that when I don't.
Because you don't like them, I think.
No, I mean recently I've begun eating them with joy.
Yeah, I told you that
not
recipe.
when we're fasting on water. No,
it lives in water.
Then you can boil a chicken in water.
Okay. Also, yuck. That's so tasteless.
You add stuff to the water. Come on. I mean, and then you have fasting on oil.
Yeah.
Which is basically
frying.
Which is basically being vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Then you have basically there's something that people refer to fasting on wine, which is basically fasting on water, but you can have a glass of wine.
Well, yeah, and some people like interpret that mean that you can eat that you can drink alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, which is not the case.
How?
In general, I think when there's oil, there's wine.
Okay.
Right.
And is it?
Well,
I think that those are two like separate categories.
No. Well,
the wine category is tad more strict than is tad more relaxed than oil category.
I wouldn't agree with you. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. And even though drinking one glass of wine is nothing. Like, you're not indulging yourself.
Maybe people at that time did indulge themselves with one glass of wine.
That could be, but then again, you can indulge yourself with half a glass of oil. I mean,
oil.
What I'm trying to say that's when that's why they say when you're fasting up to your strengths and you are overcoming your weaknesses. So if your weakness is like, if you, for example, the Great Lent comes and you just love eating nuts, right? You're not going to start devouring endless amounts of nuts.
You can say the time.
Sorry?
You can say the time nuts for nuts. It's so bad.
But you're destroying this episode.
It's so bad.
I am at the verge of crying.
Do go on. So yeah, I probably won't eat like 20 pounds of hazelnut. But then again...
Yeah, but also you will not respect any single guideline.
True.
A lot of priests will give you blessing to, like, if you're like eating outside, you can't really fully follow. I mean, you can, but it's very, very challenging.
Yeah.
To follow.
It really depends on the restaurant.
It depends on where you are exactly. But I got to tell you, when I was starting, when I would go to work, when I was starting in Christian, Orthodoxy, and I started fasting and all that, but I lost so much weight, by the way, back then. Back then it was like from 103 kilos to like 73 kilos.
I had the same experience.
Even more than when I went to keto. So the reason was, I was like, it says fast on water, and I go to work and like there's nothing. You can't eat a thing anywhere.
You can always eat juju.
That's not on water.
Oh,
it's oil.
Yeah. Well, you can simply buy bread.
Yeah. What I would do is I would buy a piece of bread. I would buy like something like some nuts, and I would buy ketchup.
Oh, yummy!
And that's like it was ridiculous, but people looked at me in funny ways.
By the way, once you start doing Lent like really seriously, you realize just how much you can lose weight just by eating bread.
No.
Because you lose the appetite.
Yeah, you really do lose you eat less. A lot of people used to tell me back in when I was starting, when this was a big topic for me. Like, I can't fast. I always gain a lot of weight.
Those people never fast.
Yeah, and I'm like...
I mean, you can.
What are you talking about?
No, you can. You can gain weight on fast.
But that means you're eating too much.
Yeah.
Because during fast, every single fast, I always ate significantly less.
Yeah, I know.
And I actually prefer it that way. Because I would think about food less and less.
Yeah.
Want to end this one before you fall asleep?
Sure. Too late.
Okay, I mean, by all means, let's wrap it up.
With lettuce.
Oh, you remember? Oh dear, you remember? How do you call it? Rocket? How do you call it?
Rocket, yeah.
Rocket, yeah.
Yeah, when we were in we had that team building.
We had team building, and it was the Great Lent, and being
it was a Great Lent. Yeah.
We order like a vegan sandwich.
Yeah.
And we order a side dish of rocket salad.
Rocket salad.
And what arrives is basically 2 very fat pieces of bread and in between them a lot of rocket.
No. There was something in between that wasn't rocket.
But
But the sandwiches by themselves came together with a lot of rocket. And then we had a huge bowl of rocket.
It was ridiculous.
While
other people who were with us ate steak.
No, yes, steak. But... And it was medium rare.
That's default steak.
Yeah.
Also, there was a time when I was at work and we had to it was an obligatory team building. It was the Great Friday.
Okay.
And everybody ate cevapi, and I ate nothing because I don't eat a thing on the Great Friday.
The irony is, for example, I love cevapi like everybody does.
Everybody loves cevapi.
But I wouldn't consider it that big of a temptation from this vantage point. But man, at that time, when you're very hungry, and you would kill for cardboard, just to eat it, and then you smell cevapi, and they smell like heaven.
No, it wasn't that big of a temptation. I gotta be honest with you, because I probably got used to eating very.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say it's not like they're so rare that you I mean, steak, okay, that you don't have that very often, or putkica. You don't have that very often, but cevapi, they're the lowest common denominator of great food. But there are better things out there, greater temptations. So take care.
So this was our first Bad Puns Everywhere episode.
Our bashing other YouTubers just because they left a bad comment episode. So
yeah,
sorry.
I honestly apologize if I offended anybody. That wasn't the intention. The only intention is entertainment and good fun.
By bashing others.
No, I don't think I've bashed anybody. Why are you so mean?
Because people will be mean to me.
Well, you're taking the heat, so I don't care.
True. But Bok is getting fried for this Lent.
To all you Orthodox Christians out there, good luck with the Great Lent.
And to all of you Catholics and Anglicans out there, good luck with Lent. That's not so great.
Did we mention the Copts? They probably do the Great Lent.
Oh,
the same.
And actually, something very interesting I read about the Syrian Church. Until recently, they had Lent that was very similar to ours. Maybe that more even strict, I don't remember. And then they sort of just decided that, a lot of people aren't doing the Lent, so they're sinning, and we don't want them to sin. So from now on, dairy products are allowed during Lent, only not during the first and the last week of Lent. Something like that. I was very fascinated by what I've read. I think it was a Syrian church, so it's not all of the Orientals, but...
what about Roman Catholic Church? How do they fast?
Okay, it's that more complicated, but they have abstinence and fasting. And abstinence means that they won't eat meat, but they can eat fish, dairy, and they can technically eat dishes where meat was used, but is for example, broth. They can have a broth, but not actual meat that was used to make the broth. And they also have fasting, which means reduction of food, which again means that in one day you can have one meal and two smaller meals that don't equal one big meal. So on some days they have
so mathematical.
No, actually I don't think it's that complicated. I actually think that our Lent is way more complicated compared to theirs. So on some days they have abstinence, on some days they have fasting, on some days they have fasting and abstinence.
But it's pretty much not eating meat.
Yeah, and
going vegan.
No, they don't go vegan. They can't have dairy. They go vegetarian on some days.
Vegans don't have dairy. Oh, yeah.
Vegetarians don't have
they go vegetarian.
Yeah, they go vegetarian on Sundays, and that is for example, Fridays of Lent. So they eat normally outside of Fridays. Maybe they like reduce food.
Well, it's significantly different.
Yeah, and in Catholic, and you know,
Do you drink alcohol during Lent?
I think they do. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? And yeah, but
did you catch the pun? I said dairy. How dare you? Did you catch it? Did you catch the pun?
I would have catched it if it was pronounced properly. How dare you?
You just took over my pun.
You
pun.
You suck at bad puns, and that is a rare gift.
I'm offended. It's a good thing that the Great Lent hasn't begun, so I can hate you a bit.
And other YouTubers.
I don't hate other YouTubers.
Which I gossiped with you in private.
Just you.
In private, Em.
That never happened?
Not anymore. Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
Thank you for being a part of our...
a part of our Great Lent Challenge Club.
Yes. If you want to join...
Orthodox Church, call your nearest priest and get chrismated or baptized.
And if you want to join the Great Lent Challenge and you're not Orthodox Christian, ping us for tips and tricks.
And recipes.
No. Yes, ping us for recipes. We'll give you recipes.
I'm making a video on the life of Saint Mary of Egypt.
Challenging.
Yeah, and like at some point she tells Saint Zosimus, like, my food was desert vegetation, and I had this funny image of Saint Mary holding like a knife, a fork, and there's a plate in front of her with like a cactus with spines, and like how they approach this. So you know,
but also who else ate like wild berries and desert?
Saint John the Baptist.
Yeah, Saint John the Baptist, exactly.
Locusts and honey.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
Protein and carbs.
Yeah, exactly. But locusts would be protein, but then they wouldn't fit into the into the water fasting category.
They would.
They would.
Yeah. But I mean, you still wouldn't eat them like I wouldn't. But
actually, I ate locusts.
How? Where?
A friend of mine she was in Mexico when we were in high school, and she brought 2 cigars from Mexico and a bag of locusts
and a swarm of locusts, and the plague of locusts.
No, they were like fried and like
crispy
and with a lot of spice. And it was like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I would imagine that they're not that bad, but
but it's
she probably didn't eat them like Saint John the Baptist.
No. I'm guessing not.
Though, even though some of the interpretations of that was that he ate some plant that was called a locust because of its appearance.
Could be.
So,
but I mean, it's irrelevant at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He ate whatever he found.
People
in nature. Bad person.
Don't call Saint John the Baptist a bad person.
Stop it. So again, really, if you want to take on the Great Lent Challenge and you are Pentecostal, Catholic, Baptist,
J. Dyer,
Copt,
Buddhist.
No, the Coptic, they have a similar.
Social justice warrior.
Gay
social justice warrior who's a Buddhist. A bad Buddhist.
Yeah, really, it would be an interesting thing to try.
Yeah, especially if you're not Orthodox. Do the Great Lent Challenge and tell us how you made it without communion. We'll call it the Saint Mary of Egypt Challenge.
Well, according to sources,
yeah, she
did receive communion
2 times, yeah.
In the desert.
Yeah.
Just saying. I know my...
Lives of Saints.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.